I've been doing social media for 2 months, so people just see the growth and say, this guy has been here for a long time. Now, I've only been on social media for like 2 months and stuff like that. The growth has been like astounding and stuff like that. Even if you see like my bio, I wrote like in my bio, when I started my social media, I wrote like can't rush greatness. I was expecting like, at the end of the year, I'm going to reach like 100K followers because I can't rush greatness. I reached that in less than a month. And I was like, okay, this is growing out of hand now and stuff like that. So
you're known as the funny guy. You're known as the funny guy, the toxic guy, the number one manipulator, the Power Ranger.
That one is crazy.
You've got a lot of personalities there.
Yeah.
And
the difference between like my first semester and my second, it was so much. Like I could see the difference in attending like my lectures. Like from the first semester, I was not attending that much. I don't even see myself tomorrow, but we'll see about 5 years. You're asking what do I see myself the next 5? I don't even see myself tomorrow, but let's try.
Yeah.
You know, I used to get calls from people in the same neighborhood as me, like, bro, I was telling them, Gucci, you're my friend.
Oh, jeez.
I was telling these people, I was telling them, Gucci, you're my friend.
You are watching the EduKnowledge Exchange podcast show, the place where we share, learn and engage with students, graduates and experts on their academic journeys. From personal challenges to inspiring success stories, we uncover the real experiences behind university and college life. Have you ever wondered what truly goes on in the minds of students and graduates? The struggles, the breakthroughs, the game-changing tips that can transform your academic journey? We bring you raw experiences, expert advice, and unfiltered conversations to help you navigate university life like a pro. Hit that subscribe button and let's dive into the ultimate knowledge exchange.
Welcome back to yet another episode of EduKnowledge Exchange. And as always, I'm not alone. Today, our guest is Uluko Soka.
I'm good, Lilo. I was wondering, Upu Stitch or did you leave a Stitch in Hawaii?
Oh my gosh! There's actually a new Lilo and Stitch thingy out. I don't know if it's a movie, but I've seen a new Lilo and Stitch thing that's out
like
on Disney
Plus. Like a spin-off
Plus.
or show or something.
Oh my gosh. When was the last time someone asked me that? But anyways, so just to dive deep into it, right? Uluko.
Yeah.
Cape Townian, how was school for you? How was school like in terms of, were you a child who was shy? Or how were you like at school?
Okay, so we're talking like younger days, like primary
and high school.
Primary and high school, ne?
Yeah.
Okay, ne? And then bear with me, ne? Like English bundles in deplete at any time.
It's
but
fine,
I'll try my best. Ne? Okay, so primary school, okay, I was born in Cape Town, ne? But my mother, because of the situation at the time, I had to like do like a couple of years in the Eastern Cape until I was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
And then I came back this side, right? So primary school in Philippi, Mzamom, shout out to all the people who went there. Like I still love that school so much.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, now the A student, I'm doing well and stuff like that. And also, I think, I was never like a rebel or anything like that. I just did my schoolwork, participated in everything, whether it's phys ed, whatever. And then moving on to like high school. High school is when I came into high school, I was like, okay, let me chill, let me not be. But the school that we're at, like in 71, it does like the top 10s of this grade and stuff like that. And because of that, now I had to also be like exposed to such things, to such rankings, also focus on my school. So I feel like that whole system that was set up really helped in that. So with high school, I was also that really focused on my books, like church and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was me, never problematic. Like, there's no teacher that can come and say, this child, nah, it's never.
Now, how about going would you? So, they reserved and all of that. And then because if you go out, tetwa something different. All over the place, and how are you at home?
Yeah, so at home, I was the golden child. Okay, let's say self-proclaimed golden child. I'm like the middle child. Ne? Like I'm the
middle.
The middle child. I have like an older brother and like a younger sister.
Okay.
And also Olona is like my other younger brother, but like not like biological or anything. But yeah, he's little bro. Don't mind Inyoba Singontang and stuff like that. But yeah. So at home, like I'm doing well at school. I don't have like disruptive friends or anything, or like I was just like the subtle child. Like I just do my stuff, and then I go away. I was never like interactive in family things or stuff like that, or demanded too much and stuff like that. So I was just the child that does what needs to be done, and then I go about my way. And then my older brother, the problematic child. And then my younger sister, obviously the last born, they want all the attention. And I'm just there chilling as the middle child. I just do what needs to be done, and I'm gone.
And you know when you say, Mana, you are a self-proclaimed golden child, right?
Yeah.
It was like so confusing to me because, as you know, there's this whole stigma, man, middle children, abawoyikanga and all of that. You could do whatever you want, unless it's something big. Yeah. And then the older one is usually the deputy parent, and then the youngest one is the one that gets all the attention. But then when you describe how you were at home, it now goes back to a stigma. Actually, yes, you are the middle child. But now, so in high school and primary school, and in primary school, let's start in primary school. When a teacher asks you, Bana, what do you want to be? Let's say grade 3.
Yeah.
Payan. Figure out from my police. You are from my fire brigade. So there are those things, right? So at that time, what would you say you wanted to be? And in high school, if it ever changed from primary to high school?
Okay, so in primary, like I changed like a lot. Yeah? My preferences in primary were influenced by the people I was around. So I'm in grade 2. I love my teacher so much. I'm like, when I like I'm big. When I grow up, like I want to be a teacher and stuff like that. I get to grade 4. They introduce natural science to us. They introduce all these subjects. I'm like, I want to be a scientist right now. Get to grade 7. I'm like, I don't really like maths that. Ne? I want to be now a lawyer. I want to be this and this. So it's always like changed like over time and stuff like that. So I've always been that person who changes their career path on a whim. Like if my situation right now says, okay, I'm enjoying this thing too much. I enjoy this, and then I enjoy that. Like it's influenced by the situation I'm around at the time. Yeah. So that's what it's been like since primary.
And since we're speaking about that, right? I just want to get your view on this particular thing. Lendobana, as kids when we are young, how do you feel about the fact that we are not exposed to things as let me think. And okay, let me just say something in science, for example.
Yeah.
Right? We are not exposed to izinto that like any field in science. We only know, there's science. Like, I want to be a scientist, and then we know, now you go to a lab, you do this. But then we know in science there are different kinds of categories as a scientist and all of that. And now, Tina, and I want to speak specifically to the black child because I'm a black child. I know what we've been through or what we go through when we were young. It's like whenever, Tina, when we are asked, but what do you want to be? We think police are nemali because they work for the government. We think, okay, maybe doctors have money, but we always choose a zindo that you look at and then you see by zindoni, if I would become this, I'd be the biggest thing of a family, know? So, and why do you think that there's that man in a black child, in your family, you'll be seen as this big person meeting as because he's the accountant in the family.
Yeah.
All those kind of things.
Yeah. So I think with that it goes into like the way our parents grew up and their achievements. So if your parents is like, let's say a second generation of wealth and stuff like that, they are more likely to expose you to this type of things. But if your parent, if you grew up in the township like we did and stuff like that, it's more like a thing of they're only exposed to things that they know. If you're now talking about, I want to do biochemical, for them it's like, like
computer science.
Like, what do you mean biochemical? And you start talking, no, the chemicals, drugs, come on. It's like, you get what I mean? So for them, the only things that click is, you want to be a doctor?
Yeah.
You want to be a lawyer, you want to be an educator, you want to be an accountant, all these things that click to them. And even if you want to be an engineer, don't get too technical. Just say, I want to be an engineer. Once you now start talking about everything like that, it's like for them, you are losing them. So I feel like it's a thing of, we've always chosen like careers that we think the people who are asking us know about. And careers and at that time that we're choosing, because they asked you those questions like as early as grade 2.
Yeah.
Sometimes some people for grade 1 and stuff like that. So it's that time it's our limited knowledge. And then you get older, you're in high school now, grade 9, they make you do research about it. Like, what career do you actually want to do, so that you can pick the correct subject. And then now you get exposed. And for some people, for some of us, by then we've already chosen.
Yeah,
I was then sitting in grade 9 and people were talking about their careers. They were talking about bio, what. I'm like, yo, dog, I don't know. Me, now I've already chosen what I was choosing in primary. You get what I mean? So it's like that, yeah.
And I think just to add on what you were talking about, right, about not being too technical,
yeah,
it's that thing of bana, I want to go into computer science. Yeah. I don't think, or rather in my experience, I've never heard umden funanaye saying they want to be in computer science, they want to do biochemical and all of these things. And I think it's because of exposure that we've never had, right?
Yeah.
Because even with grade 9, we are looking at, and this is in LO, LO. In LO, you are given there's a chapter about career choice.
Yes.
Right? And in this chapter, they don't list, there's a lot of things that are not listed in that, right?
Yeah.
And then you find bana umtu might not, or rather their options are limited in terms of bana, they can't find a proper word for what they want to do.
Yeah.
For example, umtu zabana zonke descriptions bana, I want to do something that has to do with computers. I want to do something that is in IT, but it's not IT.
Yeah.
I want to do coding. I want to do this. But then in the book, there's nothing that sums all of this up, right? And then umduzoba limited in choice. Okay, now when's medicine? Because
that's the only option that they thought about. And when you're talking about computer science with parents, they think, oh, mntanam uzoba kweza container print abantu amaphepha. Like that. For some people, it might be the thought, like, okay, this is what, like, because that's the first thing they think about when they
computer.
The only place they've seen computers is at the library. Now they're thinking, you get what I mean? So I think it's that the exposure is not given enough, because we're encouraged to do our own research, but you can't research something you don't know, because you need to be exposed to it and say, I actually like this and stuff like that. So I feel like the education system should be like more inclusive of like those career paths, not like the popular ones. We know Gqirha, we know Ikweta, we know accountant and stuff like that. Yeah,
I hear you. But so now, take me through how your first year was, from adjusting from high school to varsity. Were there any things that you thought, hey, Jonga, things are different now, and I'm in hot waters?
Yeah, listen, I feel like with EUCT, like what they did, like for the first 2 weeks, you arrive. You're doing all these RES activities. They're taking you on sightseeing tours and stuff like that. It's nice. And then orientation starts like the next week. You attend orientation and they show you around. They tell you it's difficult and you're like, I can survive. I've survived high school. I've gotten all those distinctions. It's fine. It's fine. They tell you, no, high school doesn't matter. You're like, you don't know me. You don't know me. And then school starts. You see the content, you're like, this content is actually manageable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If I study it, I can understand it. It's nothing out of the ordinary, even though it's new content, depending on the course you're doing, right? And then over time, you start seeing that with attendance, sometimes if you have a morning class, you don't want to wake up. You may not wake up, you may not go. That's fine and stuff like that. And then over time, if it becomes a habit, you'll start to see it reflect in your marks and stuff like that. So I feel like you hold yourself accountable, whereas in high school, you knew that I'd have to answer at home why I didn't go to school, and then I'll also have to answer to my teachers as to why I didn't go there. With this one, you'll answer to yourself with your marks. This one, with varsity, now we don't want to show parents marks. We used to be happy in report day, like, mama, this is the report. Now it's like, wait, I'm waiting for those other marks and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just a lot of work, but we're managing. Yeah.
But speaking of your reporting, do parents okay, let me ask about your parents specifically.
Yeah.
Do they ask for your report as a varsity?
Yeah, end of semester, like they do ask how did you do and stuff like
Okay.
that. Yeah. So how
Because-
did you do? Can I see your results? And you're like, Abo mama, chill.
Chill, Zalega for me. Oh, Zana, vacation. But anyways, and the reason why I'm asking this, right, is because I think a lot of parents, the moment umdane varsity,
Yeah.
they feel like, okay, they've got this. I don't need to look at their results. I don't need to look at how they're doing. They're doing perfectly fine. And then you as a student who is in varsity, you see other students who are not attending. You might even be one of them. You see students not attending. You see students who fail. Because a lot of people, when they tell me their first experience, right, varsity, is the fact that, man, okay, I got distinctions as E20. And fika, they fail. So, for some people, it's a huge shock.
Yeah.
And go to a point whereby it takes it takes an emotional toll on them, and all of that. Your psychologist, and it gets to that point, right?
Yeah.
So for you, has there never been a point whereby you feel like, I need to go see a psychologist? All of this is overwhelming. I've been trying my utmost best. This is new content. As much as I'm not attending classes, catching up is not easy, but at the same time, I need to catch up because I need to have a medical certificate that says, man, okay, I could not come because
Yeah.
kind of vibes. So has there never been a point whereby you're like, this is a lot?
Like, yeah, on a point of like, okay, this is a mental health issue, man. Nah, there's never been that point. Like, for me, with everything in life, if I do bad, I do bad. We take life as it comes. It's like, it's a sort of a mentality. Bad things may happen, but we never take it too hard. We never take it like it's too deep. Now I'm feeling. Now, if I do bad on a test, I know exactly where I went wrong. I probably didn't study. I probably studied the day before. I know. Like, for me, I'm always like reflective. It's not like I think I would need like mental health if I put in all my work. I've studied weeks before and I still get these marks. And then I would like, okay, maybe I might need to talk to someone because I've tried my best. But I know if I do bad, I'm like, I started this one last night. And I will need to do better and start like days before or weeks before if I need to on this specific like module and stuff like that. It's that, but it's never been to a point where I'm like, okay, now I need to actually consult like someone. Nah.
No, okay. And also, just while you're on that, UCT, do you guys have psychologists on campus that help you guys for free or?
Yeah, we actually do. Like, if you need any type of counseling, like student wellness is always available. Even like with other medical things, it doesn't need to be like a mental health thing. We even have like people for traditional stuff and stuff like that. Like it's a lot of like services that UCT offers. Like a lot of people use them too, but it's like, yeah, like a lot of people struggle with like mental health because it takes a toll on you. Like I won't lie, it takes a toll on you, and if you're not prepared like mentally, it could really like damage you, throw you off. Like so UCT does offer like those services. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's great though. But now, because it seems like when you've been sailing smoothly, I just want to know: are there any specific challenges that when you would say, "Man, as much as my journey has been smooth, but when can I dibana bumps here and there?"
Okay, so ingquba kaxhaka bendikhe ndadibana nazo. So I wouldn't say like there have been major challenges, like except like first year there was a time where I don't know how much I'm exposing myself now, but there was a time where I was like, okay, skip these lectures. And then it was exam season and I was like, man, I know this content, like. And then now I can see I'm trying to revise. I can see, no man, this is not revision. I'm actually studying here. So there was a time where I even typed in the group chat. I'm like, guys, what can I take to not sleep for the next 10 days? What can is there a specific thing? And people were talking about, rest, because when you rest, you can retain knowledge. I'm like, there is no knowledge to retain. I'm not revising here. I'm studying, guys. So it was that time of like, I could see ukuthi manje I'm not revising here, I'm studying from scratch. It was like, come on. So it was that, like,
Oh
so
my gosh.
I feel like you need to be prepared. Like, it would be better for you if by exam season you're doing revision. If you're still studying by exam season, but you can still make it though, because you can still make it if you study hard enough, you still have enough time. But you need to actually, by consolidation week, you need to be like revising and stuff like that, not actually studying. The thing to go
Man,
through.
it's the fact that you're asking people.
I was like, is there something I can take? I need to be awake for the next
10
10 days.
Yeah. I know.
That was our consolidation week. I realized, no man, I actually don't know this. And I'm starting from like I was starting from like the first term content. I was like, this is new information to me.
Oh man, that is crazy. But like, and this is the question. So don't you think, Bana, because I've seen it with a lot of people who were high achievers in high school, right?
Yeah.
Mdafika varsity. No man. I've passed with, 20 distinctions. What is varsity? Like, what is varsity? I got through high school. I can juggle this. Gandhi umdu forgets, man, as much as they are given freedom. Yes, so in varsity, you've got freedom. But also, it's a matter of what is it that you do with that freedom.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think the first 2, or let me say the first month, you'll maybe attend your classes, right?
Yeah.
Attend it. And then you realize, but actually, no one really cares whether or not I'm attending classes.
Yeah.
My man, this class, I can dodge because I feel like the content has been easy so far.
Yeah.
And then as time goes by, it's a thing of you don't attend the class anymore. And then by the time you realize, Bana, you actually need to know the content in this module, it's too late because we are from the get-go.
Yeah.
Right? And the more you study and you get to see, man, it was easy then, but it was now, there's a build-up and it's getting more and more difficult and all of that. So I think a lot of people who were high achievers in high school tend to avoid university and the freedom and all of that. So how do you think you've handled the freedom that you've gotten at university?
I would say, like, most of my experiences, I would say for first year when I was still struggling with that and stuff like that. With second year, I know, like, more, like, when things go bad now, like, I'm not confused. I know exactly what went bad and stuff like that. Like, and it's my fault. I won't deny it. It's fine. So with first year, like, with that freedom of not attending, and you see, like, the course content is not like, it's not that difficult. I can still manage this and stuff like that. So, and there was a time where I was doing that, like skipping those lectures and stuff like that. And there was a time I was speaking with a friend from class, and Uluyande, and she told me, Kuba, what do you think about the new lecturer we got? I was like, we have a new lecturer. She was like, how, Luke? You don't know we have a new lecturer? It was that bad and stuff like that. So, and that was like, but that was like the first semester. The second semester, like, I was like, I'm not skipping any class, man. Even if you guys say we have classes on Saturday, I'm there. I've seen how tough, like, the mental, the toll it takes on your mind and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, now I don't want to revise I don't want to study when it's time to revise. So and stuff like that. So, like, a lot of people underestimate that, like, in like the first semester, and by the second semester, some things, like, because sometimes we have like semester modules, and if you fail that, it's chai for it's bad for you. So I was grateful that I was able to still manage with everything that happened in that year. So so with people, like, don't underestimate that first semester. The coursework might seem simple, but if you have to study all that from scratch in a matter of a week, it's like, it will drive you crazy.
Yeah, but I think I like the fact that you keep on repeating indoor accountability.
Yeah.
As in, like, you're holding yourself accountable. You are saying, and I know, but I did not attend these classes. I know that I did not study on time for this. Whereas as students, we'll look at everyone else.
Yeah.
Hey, the lecturer was not teaching right. They were not loud enough. Why were they not sending a lecture slides? Why were they? So we'll look at everyone else, but ourselves. So I really like the fact that you can actually say, I know, but I did not do A, B, and C. But now, I want to know, ever since you've been in varsity, you've had these challenges in first year, learned from them. So what would you say is, I don't know if I should put it as, so what are your greatest achievements or things that you have seen are happening that weren't happening in your first year in terms of academics as well as your personal life? As you've said, Mosbana, you've started attending classes. Even if it's Saturday classes, you will attend, you know? So what are the things that you've seen? Like maybe your marks have gone up or are better than they were in your first year, and maybe you even learned how to manage your time. But just small achievements, it could be small or big achievements that you've seen in your academic journey.
Yeah, so in my academic journey, like my marks improved like the difference between like my first semester and my second, it was so much. Like I could see the difference in attending like my lectures. Like from the first semester I was not attending that much, and most of my marks that made me pass, it was like the exam season, like the test before, the assignments before, it was like I'm passing but not like to that extent because I'm not attending any lectures. And then I logged in at the last moment and managed to make it. And then like second semester, now I'm attending everything and stuff like that. By the time it's exam season, I'm acing everything. So like for me, like the marks improving and stuff like that, and also like time management. Like I was complaining every time with like time management and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm with like the Allen Gray Orbis Foundation, right? So they always give us these quizzes and stuff like that and ask, how's your mental, what challenges? I would always like every month, time management. They'll give me solutions. I would not use them. I don't have time to use them. So it's like time management all the time.
Gosh.
So it's like,
Yeah,
so it was bad.
man.
So like, yeah, once I learned to manage my time, like to actually lock in and know, Kuti, this is what I'm doing now, and I need to actually do it and finish it now. And then after that, it was like, yeah.
Nah, I see. So, okay, you're in varsity, right?
Yeah.
You have been experiencing all of the things that you've been experiencing, but then outside of varsity, you are not a student,
Yeah.
right? You are uluko, you are a brother, a son, a cousin, a grandchild, and a friend.
Yeah.
So now, what is it that you do outside of your school? Do you go back home, since you're from Cape Town? Do you go home, spend the weekend there maybe? Or like, do you go out with friends? Like, what is it that you do during your social time, even during the week after classes and all of that?
Social time is like, I'm not really like a person who goes outside and stuff like that. I don't go clubbing, I don't drink, I don't smoke and stuff like that. So like I'm mostly like inside unless it's like with friends. Unless friends want to go out and stuff like that, then I'm there. Like I'm more of a person of not exploring like new people and stuff like that. I'm more like of a friends person, like the people in my circle. Like we could go out anytime. Doesn't matter if I'm writing tomorrow. If my friends want to say let's go. Doesn't matter. Let's go. We could go anytime. So like that's how I spend my time. And then obviously with family, sometimes we just like to sit, like enjoy time with family and stuff like that, because I'm not a participative family member. Like I could be there, but not there. Like I'm not that family member. Like how are the kids doing, Malume? Like Jay, I'm just chill. I'm just there to be there because I'm part of the family, and then it's that like middle child tendencies. Like I'm just there.
Oh, teaser. But with your social media, I'd like to call it another life, right?
Yeah.
In terms of, you find that people are not who they are when you meet them. The person that you see on social media is not the same person that you meet face to face. So that's why I'd like to separate their lives on social media and in real life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I want to dive into your social media life, right? On TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you are known as the funny guy. You're known as the funny guy, the toxic guy, the number one manipulator, the Power Ranger.
That one is crazy.
You've got a lot of personalities there.
Yeah.
And I just want to know, man, how did that all come about?
Yeah, I think it's a thing. People actually don't pay mind to this, but I've been doing like social media for like 2 months, so it's not.
That's
been
what
that
I was
long.
saying.
I've been doing social media for 2 months, so people just see the growth and say, this guy has been here for a long time. And I've only been on social media for like 2 months and stuff like that. The growth has been like astounding and stuff like that. Even if you see like my bio, I wrote like in my bio, when I started my social media, I wrote like can't rush greatness. I was expecting like, at the end of the year, I'm going to reach like 100K followers because I can't rush greatness. I reached that in less than a month. And I was like, okay, this is growing out of hand now and stuff like that. So with that, it hasn't like been that long, and with social media, because of certain stuff, I'm still trying to grow and stuff like that, explore different things. Because with social media, like it's not like you're not like fame like we know you for you. We know you for the content you provide and stuff like that. So I'm constantly trying to find new ways to do things, new stuff to do, constantly like reinventing myself and stuff like that, like, but within like reasonable limits and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's that, like I'm new, so there are a lot of new things that I'm still trying. That's why, like, for many people would know me on TikTok, right? Because that's where like I blew up.
That's where you
like
blew
that.
up, yeah, man.
So now I'm trying new avenues, posting on Instagram, trying to do something on the YouTube side and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's that.
But how did that all come about? Because as you're saying, Mana, because I've literally been telling a lot of people about, I literally did not know this guy in January, not in Feb, but the past 2 months, this has been going like up and up. Literally, if I would open my TikTok right now, you'd be the first thing that shows. Literally. So, but I just want to know, because it seems like before you went on TikTok, you were not someone who was active on social media or like any other platforms, like at all.
Yeah.
So how and why did you decide to all of a sudden just DVD yourself and then just, how did that whole thing come about, man?
Yeah, so with social media, I won't lie. I'll tell the truth. I was tired of school. I was tired of school. I was like, do you know the times where you're meant to be studying? You just start doing random things. All of a sudden, manje, the wall is interesting. You want to read something and stuff like that. So it was that, like, certain things just became interesting. I'm supposed to be studying. I'm scrolling on TikTok. Yeah, like, let me do something. So with social media, I was like, I didn't post anything, because some people post themselves. I didn't post anything. Like, literally, my first video is the content that I'm making and I've been making for, like, I didn't post anything. I just started posting and stuff like that. So it was just out of like interest and stuff like that. And also, I do have friends that like were doing social media that you would see, okay, like, not even like friends, like people at the same res as me that were doing social media. But it's something that I wanted to do, but because I'm not a person that posts anything, I don't know how this whole thing will go.
Yeah.
It was a thing of like, okay, I'm not sure if I should go in at this time and stuff like that. And then the thing is, I always push myself to do something. So I was like, okay, let me buy a tripod. I bought like a tripod. I'm like, this is where I'm going to station the camera and stuff like that. And then I showed like one of my friends who does social media. I bought a tripod and stuff like that. I want to shoot content. And they're like, oh, you want to shoot content and stuff like that. But I wasn't using it. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. You can use it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then over time, I'm like, okay, I'm wasting money on things now. I actually need to do something. And then I started shooting content. I shot. And then we blew up in like a space of time that I didn't expect to blow up. And it was like that, yeah.
And how was the feeling like? Because we had Mosbana in your bio, you said you do not rush. You can't rush greatness.
Yeah.
And then greatness rushed you.
Yeah.
And how is the feeling of Bana? Like, you're seeing yourself blow up, and it's like everyone is watching your video. Like, literally on my WhatsApp, every second person relates with you.
Yeah.
They just posted something. Hey, I hear you, my guy. And those are the captions. And it's like, it's so crazy. So when you see people posting your stuff and downloading your stuff, liking your stuff, following you, how does that all feel? Like, how does it all feel like?
With that, okay, this is like, okay, social media and stuff like that. With that, it's something that you didn't expect to blow up this fast, and now you're blowing up this fast, and people are recognizing you in public. There's still times where people like see me and they're like, you're that guy from TikTok. I'm like, nah, you have the wrong person. Like, they've been comparing me to this guy. They've been comparing, and it's not me and stuff like that. So it's still like that time of adjusting to a lot of things, but you at the same time you appreciate like the support and stuff that you've seen from people.
Yeah.
And initially I didn't want people posting like on their WhatsApp statuses, because what I did when I was starting social media, because of like the fear of I'm starting social media, I might not make it. I blocked all my friends on my TikTok. Everyone I know, like my block list at the start, it was like more than 100 people. Get what I mean? So when people now started sharing videos on TikTok, and my friends messaging me like, why can't I see this on TikTok? Why are people? Now I have to explain. I'm like,
Hey.
listen. And at the time I'm growing up, I'm at like, I think I was still starting. I was like at like 3K followers in a week or something. Ne? And my friends are now. I'm like, listen, okay, it's fine. I'm doing this thing, and when I feel like I've blown up, I'll unblock you guys. And then I was like, okay,
Oh, man.
I'll unblock you guys at like 10K when I've reached like 10K followers. And then like in like the second week, I'd reached like 10K followers. I unblocked all my friends and stuff like that. So it was that. Like you didn't expect it to happen so fast, and you're just adjusting to it. Yeah.
So, oh man. But like now, I want to take it back to Lenduite Taibana. People will recognize you and want to ask questions. But aren't you that guy from TikTok? You know, all of that. Now, when you go back, Elokshin, right?
Yeah.
How does the community? I don't want to say how does the community welcome you, but how do they view you now, in terms of bana tina kaloku Snow look, or what do you mean? Like, how do they, because election, we've got those things. Because remember, I'm not sure if you remember, it 3-month scap and like all those spaza people.
Yeah.
Like communities were claiming their people. Like,
Yeah. I used to get calls from people in the same neighborhood as me, like, bro, I was telling them, Gucci, you're my friend.
Oh, jeez.
I was telling them, Gucci, you're my friend. Some people will video call me like, listen, look who I'm talking to, and it's like that's fine. And every time, like, because now it's like it's recess and stuff like that, I've gone home. Like every person I meet is like, oh, I see you're doing your thing on your TikTok. And so that's the first conversation. It's not even a hi, hey. It's like, I see you're doing your thing on TikTok, and then we talk about something. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
it's like that.
But is it not that, haven't you gotten to a point whereby like, hey guys, they getting Goku? Like a Scots Mapuma vibe.
Nah. We haven't gotten to that phone. And I think it also helps because I have friends, like most of like the closest people around me don't even have TikTok. So I can chill with them with that. He doesn't even have TikTok. He knew from people's statuses, and I had to tell him, nah, I'm at like a 100K now. He was like, yeah, by the end of the year, you will reach 1 million. I was like, come on. Now you're being unrealistic, because he doesn't understand how these things work. And a whole lot of other friends who don't even use the platform. So we can be able to just chill, talk, have normal conversations without like discussing that. So
it's great. It's great because I can imagine even in your circle, so you celebrity, yo, why? But you said, but are you venturing into YouTube?
Yeah.
Right? Now, how's that? So are you posting the same content that you'll be posting on TikTok? Or is it different content? As you said, but you are trying to find new ways of
reinventing myself.
Reinventing yourself,
okay. So with YouTube, I had like, is it because they always judge me Can City YouTube? Is it because I'm Xhosa, guys? Can City. Is it YouTube or YouTube?
Go YouTube, Undan.
YouTube.
Go YouTube.
Okay, guys.
Go
I
YouTube,
don't want to hear any more judgment. Go YouTube.
Go
We've
YouTube.
decided it's not YouTube.
But
it's YouTube.
are white, so the judgment is not it.
Go YouTube. We've decided to go YouTube, and it's YouTube. If you pronounce it any other way, that's your problem.
Go YouTube.
So with YouTube, I had like considered into like maybe making like compilations of my videos and then posting them on there. I'm like, nah, let me like branch into something else. Like YouTube is its own space. It has its own type of content that creators make and stuff like that. Obviously, you're going to bring your own twists. You're going to bring your own flavor and stuff like that. But I was like, okay, I always like building like separate communities, right? So the same community that I have on TikTok can go to YouTube, but I would also like to attract people that are already like on YouTube that don't know me from anywhere else and stuff like that. So I was planning to like, I've only posted like one video, and even there like the format is bad and stuff like that. So it's like I'm still trying to figure out how YouTube works and stuff like that. But yeah, I will definitely be venturing into like different types of content than we're doing on TikTok.
Have you thought about skits?
Skits. I actually have thought about skits, and with skits, I feel like doing skits alone for me is like there's
It's a lot of work.
not even a lot. There's a cringy aspect of it, so I like to do it like with like okay, I'd like to do like skits with like friends and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, so I have thought about skits, and that's something I'll definitely like. I already have like ideas for it, and I try to do it on my own, because with skits now you change your voice. I'm like, no, I don't like. I don't want to change my voice. Yeah, but he actually does it wonderfully. Funny, the
Yeah,
characters.
it's great, man.
Yeah, well,
knowledge.
and for me, like with changing voices, it's like, hey, yeah, nah, yeah. So
And I think, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying, because with you, I think even with all the different personalities that you have, you've always kept the one consistent, and I always use this. Yeah, I apologize for this, but I always use this to describe you, right?
Yeah.
But it's that guy that sounds political but is toxic and manipulative because, like, it's giving Jacob Zuma as in, like, no, man, I'm trying to make you understand. But if you listen to the content, no, man, you know, those kind of vibes. But not okay. No. So before we move away from the social media, I want to know on. So I've seen on Instagram that you post some of the skits on TikTok.
on TikTok, yeah.
And then because I'm a follower, I also saw Bana. You said the content on your Facebook will not be the same. Not will be the same, but some of the videos posted on Facebook will
on
not
YouTube.
be posted on.
Oh, on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
Yeah.
So how does that?
No, it's like the same content and stuff like that, but they're obviously I record like videos in advance, so it's like right now someone told me to like go on Facebook because like Facebook pays, but I'm not sure about that whole thing. So I'm
It
like,
pays.
okay, that's what I've heard. We'll confirm it. I'll let you know.
I'm
if
confirming it. It pays.
You know. Okay,
I know.
okay.
I know. That's it. Let's keep it there. I know. I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me post like videos that I haven't posted. They're also going to be posted on TikTok, but in due
At a
time.
later
Like this is
stage,
like
yeah.
at like let's say like a marketing strategy to say if you want to get like early access to the videos, you go on Facebook and stuff like that.
Follow
So,
me on
yeah.
Facebook as well. That's really great, man. But also, because we've spoken now about how your social media life impacts you as a personal person,
Yeah.
but how does it impact you eskolweni? Does it have any impact in terms of iskolo? So I'm thinking in terms of maybe when you take the videos, you take it, edit. I don't know if you edit, but maybe edit, cut things here and there, add things here and there. So doesn't it take time from, let's say, studying? Because you said you started it by seeing get class of but no, man, actually this wall is really interesting, you know?
Yeah.
So does it take time off from studying? Does it distract you in any way?
Yeah.
Or
So with studying, always with my studying, I always try to do like my studying in the evening. My whole day is done now. I'm done with lectures, and then like I have like dinner as early as like 5:30, and then now I'm studying. So with like the content, I did not even have like a ring light or nothing. So I would need like natural sunlight to have like light in the room and stuff like that. So I would always shoot like in the afternoon
Yeah.
or stuff like that. So immediately, like in between lectures, I would be there dressed, shooting, and then after that, I pack my things, I go. So
Okay.
it never like really interrupted that. So so it never really interrupted that. I would always shoot in the afternoons, and then late I'm studying. Yeah.
So I'd like to know, is there a way that your social media life
Yeah.
will have an impact on what you're doing?
On what I'm doing now.
Yes.
Okay, so it depends on what I'm doing on social media. Yeah? So I was just by not revealing it, I was just thinking in advance. Yeah, but because social media is a very like a weird space, and there's still like I'm only there for like 2 months. We don't know what could happen.
Yeah, in the
but-
near
so
future.
I didn't want whatever like may happen on social media and stuff like that. Like social media has its own dramas, its own what, right? So I didn't want like to attach the two to it, because with the course I'm doing, it can really like affect that, because I can't get into detail, because if I
With the
would get
sensitivity of things,
into
yes.
detail, then it would be revealed as to how it can affect the work you do. Yeah.
No, okay, I hear you. But now, since you spoke about social media drama, has there ever been like a post, okay, why poster, and then bad comments?
not really. I would say there was a post. Ne? The first post that blew me up, ne? Not really blew me up, but it was like a popping post. I'm growing, but I'm growing at a normal rate and stuff like that. The post blew up. I don't remember. I don't recall. It was something about. Oh yeah, I remember. It was something I said. We don't. When a person says to you, "You're lucky, you're not a parent," and we say like, "Okay, it's a choice. It's not luck and stuff like that." And people were there. Like people were obviously there are two people on each side. Some people were saying, "No, we're not bothered." Some people were bothered and stuff like that. So it wasn't like negative comments towards me, but like it was like and when I made the post, I did not expect that type of reaction. Because obviously I'm making like comedic content. I'm expecting people to laugh at it as like a joke.
Yeah,
so when
but I mean in
started,
South
like,
Africa.
Yeah, when people started arguing in the comments, I'm like, I'm there in the comments typing, guys, this is not what I meant. I am joking. Some people are saying, I'm a parent, but I take it as a joke. I'm like, yes, you are right. I was making it as a joke.
It's always the ones who are not affected. Okanye who are not even supposed to relate relate. Bible, why would I and then are you a parent? I didn't know, but what about the parents? Parents is best thing and now I'm not. Oh, but anyways. But and the reason why I asked this question, right, is because I wanted to ask, in terms of the bad comments, and even if with this case, like even if Azizikuwe, like how do you deal with them? Do they not get to a point whereby you like, yo, hi Sana, maybe I should stop doing this because why based on Pesha, why based on so and so on my page and all of that?
Yeah, with like the bad comments, like TikTok is actually like, that's why I'm scared of other platforms, but TikTok is like, it has its own community. Like you can actually filter certain words on TikTok, and some words are filtered like naturally. If it's like a swear word or even words like I'm not sure even I can say it here. Like,
we don't swear here.
Yeah. So certain words TikTok filters automatically. So you can, as the creator of the post, view what words were filtered by TikTok and you approve and stuff like that. So TikTok has been helpful with like that and stuff like that. But sometimes it's never gotten to a point where I'm like, nah, I should like, because no one is actually like directly attack me, sword me and stuff like that. So it's like never gotten to that point. But though, of course, there are going to be people who are, you're making a joke and people are touched about a certain post and it's like, yeah, it was just a joke at the end of the day, and someone took it personal and stuff like that. So there are going to be like those separate cases. But if like that would like, if in a post that would make like, let's say less than 2% of people saying that, the other 90% are laughing, enjoying and stuff like that. So it really doesn't affect you when you see the positive reaction from other people. Yeah.
That's great, man. So for my last question, and this is something that we ask everyone, right, that comes to our show.
Yeah.
So where do you see Uluko in the next 5 years? Are you still doing content? Are you just working? You serious? Or what's up?
So I don't even see myself tomorrow, but we'll see about 5 years. You're asking what do I see myself the next 5? I don't even see myself tomorrow, but let's try.
Yeah.
So in the next 5 years, am I still doing content? I think so, but I think it will be different. I don't see myself on TikTok in the next 5 years. So, like, I always try to give myself like time limitations for certain things. So, like TikTok, a maximum of 2 years is enough for me. And then I'm like,
so we must enjoy you while you last.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean like I won't be like in the public space and stuff like that. But I would like to think I'd be doing something else, right?
Okay.
So yeah, that's that. Like with the TikTok things, I would like to be doing something else. Probably in the next 2 years, I'll have completed my degree, and then try to get into the working space and stuff like that. Yeah, but I still wanna work. It's not like I'm trying to be content creator full time. Nah, I still wanna work, and then but I don't think I'll be doing TikTok for as long as 5 years. Like there's some people who've been doing TikTok for like since 2020, man. And you're like, you're still here. That's like crazy consistency. For me, it's like
But last thing before we close, where can people find you?
Okay. So people can find me on my TikTok, Luko Worldwide. On Facebook, it's Luko Soka. YouTube, it's Luko Worldwide. Instagram, Luko Worldwide. So yeah, those are the other platforms for now.
Okay, good people. You have heard it from Olu Kosoga. You can find him on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And please do follow his YouTube channel as it's starting out. So if you like this video, please press the like button, subscribe, and press the notification button for more content coming. That's it from us. Bye.
Bye.